All right. Hey, welcome to the SecureWorld Spotlight Series. I'm Brad Graver, your host, if you will. And today I have the pleasure of talking with Zach Lewis. And Zach is a CISO at the University of Health Science and Pharmacy based in St. Louis, and a member of our SecureWorld Advisory Council in St. Louis as well. So welcome, Zach.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Brad. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, right on. So, hey, let's start off just, simple, nice and easy. Tell us about your role there at the Health Science and Pharmacy.
Sure. So the University of Health Sciences and Pharmacy is about 158 years old, focusing in on pharmacy being our flagship degree and now offering a wide range of health science degrees. I've been here for close to 9 years now. In varying different roles, but I serve as the CISO and in most aspects the CIO as well. I run the entire IT department, consisting of about 23 people, and I also run the library because when you're in higher ed, you get all kinds of fun departments to manage, and if they have computers or technology, they touch IT in some way.
Well, hey, let's go back, take a step back to go forward. Tell us a little bit of your pathway into cybersecurity.
Sure. So, I've been at the university for a number of years. My predecessor in the CIO role started realizing that we didn't have a cyber program, and he started researching different sorts of things around, learning the CISSP and how to implement sys controls, different stuff like that. Once he left, I sort of picked up that mantle and kept driving it forward and really fleshing it out with departments and the organization as a whole, and that, reporting to the board, driving security initiatives, eventually becoming the CISO. And from there, we've fended off different attacks. We've secured the environment in a pretty good way, and now we're rounding out with a pretty big data governance, data classification journey that we're on, where we're really figuring out where all of our data is, all the buckets it lives in, who has access to it, where's it going, do we want it to go places, and really kind of get arms around that. And that helps with AI initiatives building off of it on the data that we're using for building AI models and large language models and different things like that.
Wow, fantastic. So you're really taking the building blocks of starting a program and maturing that into where it is now and looking at the technology available to progress that forward. Am I saying that correctly?
Yeah, higher ed is not known for having large budgets. I think everyone's budgets are kind of tight now. So you have to really use what you have efficiently. And that might be looking at your tech stack and being like, man, I've been using this for 5 years, for 6 years. Is that really the best thing? Is there something new out there? And I'm pretty big at looking at startups. So we've brought in a lot of different cyber startups over the last few years. And when you're early in that pathway, you can really kind of help scope and mold those companies and what you need. And they're there to work for you. And you can get really good products at a pretty good price that makes you maybe not bleeding edge, but definitely cutting edge.
And I know that I'm aware of, there's a pretty strong incubator program in the St. Louis community for startups. So, you're at the forefront. I'm sure our audience is happy to hear that, there's people that take the role that you're taking, and it's, raise your hand and, hey, I'll be first in line to try something, where there's others that are, hey, prove it to me, and then I'll take a look at your offerings. So I applaud you for being out there on the forefront.
Absolutely. I mean, the St. Louis cyber community is incredibly strong. I've been a lot of places, talked to a lot of CISOs at different conferences, and I mean, St. Louis, for as big as we are, which isn't that big in the scope of cities and towns. I mean, the cyber community is very tight-knit, very forward-thinking, and some of the best group of guys you'll ever meet, guys and gals you'll meet in the country. So,
yeah, agreed. So let's dive into that. We are looking forward at having SecureWorld St. Louis, which will actually be in Clayton, on September 26th, and you will be moderating a panel in the opening keynote on election security with members of the local election board and CISA. Thank you so much for volunteering your time and expertise to do that. Let me ask you, what types of questions will you be asking the panelists?
Yeah, this year's a great year for election security. Obviously, it's an election cycle, but the last several elections have been heated, and this year, not so much with the voting process, but just what we're seeing in politics in general has made. I mean, it's very lit. It's a very exciting time. So we're gonna explore things like emerging threats from Iranian threat actors trying to disrupt the voting process and influence the election in different ways. We've seen a number of CISA and FBI documentation and notices come out around Iran. We're going to talk a little bit about how the director of elections works with CISA to protect us.
That's fantastic. And I think it's really important for local communities to have a channel like this to understand the processes and for the election board to be transparent about the processes. And it's an educational and awareness topic as well. So I'm excited for it. Thanks for joining us. And again, look forward to that opening keynote.
Awesome. Thanks, Brad. I appreciate it.